I'll be calling you a radical, a real historic freaking video here. I can't believe it. This is the false narrative, the fake. So here's Barack Obama with the Girl Scouts, yay, at, that guy's the biggest criminal who ever walked, at Monterey Aquarium. Now you know all the historic work I've done on the Monterey Peninsula. I mean, for years and, well, decades. And so, it's an important historic video. So, Obama, Netflix, this is important, Netflix bought our great ski resort. This is real 1970s, Powder Mountain right here. We call him Greed Hastings around here, and he's ruined it. He's turning into the luxury goods. Like to have everything in this country, this master class that is taken over. I mean, it's full-blown imperialism now. I mean, arranged marriages. Look who Trump's daughter Tiffany's married to. Look who Soros's freaking son. I mean, arranged marriages, serfs, these government employees, that's what they are. They're serfs. I mean, patent activists, we're under the pyramid. I mean, Lord Bezos, Lord Musk, Lord Gates, it's full-blown out imperialism. Not going to happen, could happen. So get this one. So Obama, yeah, fuck. I'm so disturbed about all this. Is the culprit on the Great Pacific Genocide. And I don't do opinion. This is not opinion. This is well historical, documented fact. I don't do opinion. So I'm walking the coast in 2015, freaking the entire coast, and documenting this historic, acute radical catastrophe that's happened in the Pacific Ocean that Obama perpetuated. Now, that's not opinion, because if you go back now, we have 13 years of data. We have the well collapse, we have the dead tide pool displacement disease, we have the heat dome, we have all the evidence. We have 13 years of data being plugged into regressionary models, and it's unarguable science that the great outlier in the Pacific Ocean that happened this acute radical collapse 2011. Now, the 75 biologists come out finally and agree with Kevin Blanch. Yes, this great well collapse on the grays and the humpbacks started in 2011. We call that an outlier in science versus outright liars. This is important. So I'm walking the coast. I get to the Monterey Aquarium. There's an older couple there that work in there. She comes right up to me. She's, Kevin, Blanche, come in. She's, me and my husband were waiting for you. This is 2015. We've been watching your work. I'm the ex-marine biologist dean, I believe at UCLA or USC. My husband is the ex-marine biologist chair, dean, I believe at Stanford. You know, we've been married for decades. We moved to the peninsula because we're so passionate about, well, you're talking the greatest ecology on the planet, the Monterey Aquarium. Monterey Bay. It's not a cliche. California theme park. So, she says, Kevin, I need to talk to you. And I says, what's up? She says, we have a rowboat. We track the migration of the grays. So, as you know, when the grays, they'll come by, I call it John Denver Point, on the point of the Monterey Peninsula, like clockwork. You could set your sundial by it on January 1st. Here come the grays in the California current on their long migration, 10,000 miles to Mexico to give birth. She says, Kevin, we track the grays. The grays are giving birth here in Monterey Bay. I'm like, oh, God, no. Oh, no. She says, yeah. I says, they're starving. They're anemic. They can't. Yeah, you're all over it. She says, my daughter is a department chair of one of the major marine biology departments in the state of California. We're not even on speaking terms with her. Their own daughter. They don't care. I says, yeah, it's all about the money. They have no passion for the ecology. They have no passion for the animals. They shouldn't even. She says, no, she doesn't care. And she says, no, we're with you. It's Fukushima. This is 2015. So that same trip, I'm on the airplane flying from Monterey to San Francisco. Guy sitting next to me. We start talking. He says, I'm shooting and working a documentary film, I believe for the BBC. Somebody, one of the mucks, the comeback of Monterey Bay. I said, the comeback of Monterey Bay, you're a little premature on that. The Monterey Bay is collapsing as we speak, I told him. This eagle, he's trying to go back, you know, Doc Ricketts, Steinbeck, where's all the anchovies? They're in a can. So, the comeback, no, it's collapsing. It's collapsing in front of your eyes. You're talking one of the, could be the greatest ecology on the planet, Monterey Bay. Blow your mind, incredible. So, this is so disturbing. Barack Obama's the narrator of the Netflix Greed Hastings piece, The Oceans, this series. And they're showing all this historic, incredible footage. But they're not going to show anything what's really happened post 2011. Now you can't argue with me anymore. You know, before you could argue with me. When it happened, first you hypothesize the knowledge. You can't be afraid to be right. You can't be afraid to be wrong. I hypothesize standing right here. These are full blown out nuclear meltdowns. Never happened in the history of mankind. Never happened. Never happened in Chernobyl. Never happened in never happened at 3 Mile. Never happened. Never. This is going to cause a heat source so radical, so incredible. It's going to be a plasma. It's going to be a freaking gas. It's going to get in the Pacific Ocean. It's going to wipe out the photoplankton. You're going to see a chain reaction like you've never seen. It's going to get into the pine trees. It's going to get into the fucking needles. It's a plasma off these suns, bringing star power to Earth. Livermore, California's logo. The sun is 94 million miles away. It'd give you cancer, man. That's what a nuclear exchange is. Their suns. Again, Livermore, California's logo. Bringing star power to Earth. Oh, they brought it. So, Lake Barrett to Leslie Stahl confirms Kevin Blanchard's work. Lake Barrett, who's running the cover-up of the Fukushima mountain, same guy that ran the 3 Mile Island ones. Day 2816, it took them 2,816 days to tell you what Kevin Blanchard told you in 1 hour on 60 Minutes. Well, Leslie Stahl of Lake Barrett. These are really full blown out core meltdowns? Yes, multiple ones. Where are they? See the Pacific Ocean right there? Those holes? Leslie Stahl of Lake Barrett, day 2,816 of the catastrophe. Well, this is like going to the moon to fix this. Lake Barrett to Leslie Stahl. Way bigger than that. This has never happened before. Chernobyl, 780,000 men entombed it, including, why do you think they mined underneath it? Chernobyl, Fukushima has proved that China syndrome is very real. Del Mar, this has been their answer by Obama. I know word for word what happened inside the situation. Word for word. Barack Obama, who destroyed the Democratic Party, and these same people that are crying about the Democratic Party being destroyed, David Axelrod, Rahm Emanuel, straight out of Exelon, Chicago, the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate. James Carville, the same people that destroyed it, sitting and bitching about it now. Remember when Obama won in 2008, he was the peace actress. Remember, he got a Nobel Prize. That needs to be taken away from him. That's the worst president in United States history. You can argue with it all you want, but Cornel West was right off the get. He said that he was nothing more than a charismatic version of American exceptionalism. He said that right off the get, 2008. Cornell was right the whole time. This guy conned everybody. You know, Trump's cabinet has no African Americans. Neither did Obama. The first one, he had one, that Holden. What happened in the Situation Room when Fukushima happened? I know word for word. Make it so. It's been leaked out. I'm the guy that put up that girl to that second interview when John Holden leaked it out. What was going on in there? Remember, Abe was the prime minister of Japan. Nato Khan was. They forced him out. I talked to him. This is the greatest acute. You can't argue with me. Obama, let's go back to 2008 when he got elected. This was the anti-Bush Cheney peace referendum. The whole country was so pissed about the lies of Afghanistan and Iraq. They rejected the lies. Do you know Obama got 60, supermajority, 60-40 in the Senate? I believe he had 250-60 congressionally, supermajorities. Could have done anything he wanted. You know, and this is the referendum against Bush, Cheney, Wolford, and Bremer, the fucking lies of Afghanistan and Iraq. What did he do with it? Obama, in his freaking 8-year tenure, lost 12 Senate seats. I believe 60, 70, 80 congressional seats. This guy was a total fraud. Peace, he droned more people than Bush and Cheney. I mean, this guy, who knew I was really good at killing people? I'm the first guy to report. And I voted for him the first time because I'm a peace actor. Well, he voted against him. He conned us. Kissinger's puppet. So, March 11th, the catastrophe happens, which I've been predicting it. These are Mach 1, Mach 2 water boilers, General Electric. The water school business right here, the #1 school business in the United States. I'm the guy running the whole show. The same time that Elon Musk is going to Wharton, our sister school, I'm the guy here. We're the #1 school business in the country via the exit test, not some opinion. For like 9 consecutive when I'm running the show. Warren Buffett rolls in here and freaking, I'm like, don't take his money, don't take his money. By the way, who owns the coal plants here in Rocky Mountain Power and the propaganda bullshit? I did the due diligence on these nuclear reactors. I knew there was no way a Mach 1, Mach 2 General Electric water boiler, Utah Construction, which is G, the biggest corporate merger in history in 75 that built all this. I knew they couldn't handle an 8 on the Richter scale. When I saw it was a 9, I knew they were gone. And this wasn't the tsunami. The cores fractured on impact. There's no way these cores... Now, what is a core? These cores, it's a sun exchange that's going on, nuclear fission event that's contained matters because it has a containment core around it. And you can't let it get out. As Einstein says, you let it get out, you're going to mutate every freaking piece of biology on this planet. Oh, it got out. I knew it did. Immediately, I'm like, these are full-blown up meltdowns, and I went crazy that day and never looked back because it's the greatest event in human history. So here's Obama narrating Greed Hastings right here, Powder Mountain. Netflix should be more than ashamed of themselves. The comeback of Monterey Bay, honestly, oh my God. He's the voice of the ocean. I watch the trailers. So, I watch the trailers and they show these beautiful, incredible footage of the ocean. This is an unarguable documented fact now. My work is being done. My historic work I did in real time. First you hypothesized these are full-blown up meltdown. It's going to genocide the Pacific Ocean. I named it the Great Pacific Genocide. It's an eco chain. It's going to talk the acutest collapse in the Pacific Ocean in the history of mankind. It's going to cause a heat dome over the Western United States. It's going to the trees. It's going to cause the fucking fires. The new Semmelweis. Kevin Lashton right here. All new knowledge will be persecuted. Always has been. Was I right? First, then you do the field work. I get cancer in 2011, AML leukemia. Freaking walking the coast doing this greatest PhD documenting it. I did the field work. And all these copy-paste PhDs that are out there now being outed by IAEA. And so their answer was to attack me, go after me, slander me, kettle me. You know, which it's been over the top what they've done to me. Hire teams. You think that's coincidence? YouTube, Facebook, Reddit, dozens and dozens of freaking sites totally 100 committed. Kevin D. Blanche attacking me, slandering me while I'm in critical condition. Sleeping in a sleep bag, walking the coast. Mike Lee kicks me out Medicaid when I'm in a bone marrow transplant center. It's almost costing my life. I'm in critical condition. I've had open heart surgery. I'm out there walking the coast doing it. The sill collapse, the mirror collapse. All this is, you could plug in the acute radical sill collapse, starvation event, leukemia event, the sea lions, acute. Hey, the fire, the heat dome, the wells, the biologists come out and now suggests, no one calls it the unusual mortality event, says it's so over. So the third doomsday fish is washed up in SoCal. Third, once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime, I documented 14 of them in 2014 and 13. The ocean is collapsing in a radical way. And the smoking gun, the salmon data. We don't catch dead humans in bone marrow transplant units. Oh, Kevin Blanche does. I was one of them. I lived in the bone marrow transplant center for 5 years. Going in and out of, I have AML de novo. 2011. Just another coincidence, bro. Are you kidding me? We don't catch dead tide pools. Oh, Kevin Blanche does. This is a cute. I cannot overstate this. The Pacific Ocean was so incredible, thriving, freaking healthy on March 10th, 2011. That's an arguable document. The tide pools were thriving. And then the scientists all come out now and say, wasting disease. Okay, what caused wasting disease? And I'm still waiting for these fuckers to answer me. And they'll tell you global warming in their conclusion. That's just global warming. Global warming's been going on for decades like this. That's unarguable. The auto fucking industry. All you gotta do is Google Claire Patterson, the lead in the gasoline guy, and the government paraded out scientists and told you how safe it was. They covered that up for 70 years. He full well know he got lead poisoning. They full know it was coming, but they covered it up. It's like cigarette smoking. They paraded it. Government scientists on the Hill clear into the 90s and were testifying under oath in front of Congress that cigarettes were not bad for you. They were actually healthy for you. This is how they played. This is a cover-up. This is Semmelweis. And now Obama, he's in Monterey Bay yesterday at the fucking aquarium with the Girl Scouts. So Doc Ricketts, who's the most famous biologist, marine biologist in American history? Well, that's easy. Doc Ricketts by far. Doc Ricketts the poacher. I've done so much work there. You know the great tide pool there, right there that Monterey Bay Aquarium sits on, is called the Doc Ricketts Great Tide Pool. It's named after him. It's named after him. You know how many videos I've done right there where he was killed by the train? Ding, 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 ding. And I've done so much work on that. I have documented that peninsula on both sides, every square inch. The whole coast, but especially there. Carmel Cove, clear up around the point, all the great tide pools there. They're wiped out. It's not all the way. I find a few starfish there at Lover's Point, but not anything like it should be. The Upper California purple urchins just wiped out. Those before and after eggheads. Hello. So you can't argue with me anymore. Obama caused this. Yes, where the buck stops were, Obama caused it. Remember they sent in 32 ships to Fukushima, Japan, when it happened, to evacuate all U.S. military and civilian personnel. Remember the USS Reagan? All that work I did there. They sent in the USS Reagan. Right there. Those guys are getting cancer and dying so alarmingly, so radically. Their answer was to push this energy into the Pacific. Remember the plume was coming over us for the first 6 days. Now remember this. Anderson, Vanderbilt, Cooper, Sanjay Gupta, boots on the ground, CNN. Fukushima meltdowns, Fukushima. They got Jim Wells from MIT, who was no nuclear physicist, and the propaganda machine. Anderson, Vanderbilt, Cooper's like, meltdowns, said it a billion times. The wind shifted back over Tokyo. This plume was coming over us. And they, in the middle of the night, were flown home. Neither one of them has mentioned Fukushima. Says, well, I take it back. Sanjay Gupta mentioned it on Sanjay Gupta, MD, on CNN on March 25th and said, oh, he had a doctor and he had an artist from Michigan, goes on there and says, so, boy, he ain't no artist. Oh, I thought that Chernobyl was all that till I went over there, thought Chernobyl's fine. No, it's not fine. This is the greatest cover-up in you. This is the greatest crimes, and I can prove it. Barack Obama on March 17, 2011. This is a fact. Look it up. He comes on to the White House and does a press conference about Fukushima. The plume is coming over us right now. Scientists tell it is safe. No need to take precautions. When he was flown out later that day to South America, that's an unarguable fact. The exact same day, Cheryl Mills' emails were coming out through Humma. Now, Humma's engaged to George Soros' son now. Tiffany Trump is married to the Lebanese freaking oh my God. Full-blown out imperialism. Her emails were coming out that same day through the Beltway, left, right. They got leaked out by WikiLeaks. This said, point blank, the plume is coming over us right now from the Fukushima nuclear meltdowns. Do not go outside. If you have been outside, take a shower. Wash your clothes. Take some iodine. Be safe. That's with malice. He lied. Obama lied. Obama's lied about everything about his whole life. I think back about his grandfather that raised him. Armour. He called himself Armour. He has one child. He has a girl, and he names her Stanley. Think about that. A boy named Sue. He names her Stanley and required her to use the word Stanley. Now think about that type of person. And she died young of cancer. It's so disturbing you even wrap your mind around this guy. This guy's what? And I want to ask, what did he do for anybody when he was president? What did he accomplish? He didn't do shit. Status quo, status quo. Covered up Fukushima, the greatest crime in human history. And now he's the voice of the oceans. Netflix, Greed Hastings. I grew up a fucking Powder Mountain. They've ruined. You still got to drive that road, but I am so appalled. You can't argue me with anymore. It's gilded in gold, cast in concrete. Now, the greatest outlier since Krakatoa. What was Krakatoa? 538, when the volcanoes erupted. Krakatoa was formed, and it coated black fucking film over the whole fucking planet. How long did it take that black film to circle the planet? Well, how long did it take the Fukushima freaking plume to come over us? You can't see it. You can't taste it. Oh, well, they would detect and tell us. Do you know that on March 11th, 2011, Gina McCarthy had what's RadNet? The radiation detection worker who has devices and dishes, including on this unit. I filmed her pulling down the RadNet device here. And Google immediately took it down. I put it on YouTube. They took it down. Did you know they crashed RadNet? Took it offline? Do you think that's a coincidence? Fuck, this plume fucking come over us and ravished us. And my work cannot be denied now. Kevin Blanch, these are full-blown out meltdowns. They're going to circle the wagons. This energy is never been seen before. It's going to push a plasma and a gas into the Pacific Ocean. The plume. I'm the guy that named it the blob. I'm the first guy that reported you could physically see it. The black thing. The invasive species. An acute wipeout. Kevin Blanch, first we'll go the starfish. Fucking, that will go first. Then you're going to see the chain reaction happen. The smoking gun of this is the salmon. Why the salmon? Because we count all salmon. You go from the Kenai, the Nushak, freaking the Laws of Lasser, the Fraser in British Columbia, the mighty, mighty Columbia, fuck the Rogue, the Jedediah Smith, the Willamette, damn it, the Klamath. So, this is important. We count all salmon. The Klamath had dams. Jedediah Smith has no dams. Neither does the Rogue. Steelhead go to sea for 1 to 2 years. Steelhead salmon. That's right. They're salmon. They're salmon. They live in the Pacific Ocean. I said they will start to collapse immediately in 2012, 2013. If they go to sea one time back, they're called the half pounder. The next year they come back, their life cycle's over. They don't live in rivers. They live in the ocean. They spawn in the rivers. I says the smoking gun will be the Chinook salmon. First came the god of Chinook. Why the Chinook? Because they go to sea on average for 5 years. They will collapse in 2016, Kevin Blanch. That will be your absolutely smoking gun. We had record returns in 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, to where the Army Corps Engineers are doing videos. The Army Corps Engineers classifies me. I got the emails from a whistleblower inside. I put them online. Think about that. What they've done to me, the greatest PhD in human history. The Jedediah Smith, the Klamath, and the Rogue are both down 97% on the Chinook salmon since 2016. Klamath has dams. The other two don't. They're dying at sea. We talked to the biologists at the Hatfield Aquarium. We talked to them face to face. Yeah, they're dying at sea. Everybody, you can't deny it. Well, what's killing them? In science, we call this an outlier because we have 13 years. You can plug regressionary models in. Take the bias out. You plug in an regression model on the sills, on the sea lions, on the heat dome over the fires. It's Fructonium fires. Fructonium is going to cause a heat dome over the rest of the night. It's going to get into the pine tree. It's going to cause... Go talk to any fire ranger, which I have. We've never seen anything like this. We thought they were spontaneous fucking fires being started by multiple people at the same time. That was our only explanation. And I says, no. When the atmosphere becomes so toxic, it's a gas and plasma that it ignites. That's exactly what happens. You had 14 fires started at the exact same time over hundreds of thousands of fucking square fucking acres at the same time. Go talk to anybody. They'll verify my work. This acute catastrophe. The wells. The starvation event. Today, Monterey Bay, this is so unprecedented. Never happened, never. So, whales are plankton feeders, except for orcas, and sperm whales. Sperm whales live off the Baja of California, and they eat giant squid. They've completely moved out of their domain to where they're in San Francisco Bay, off the coast. Never happened in the history of mankind. Never. Never. Full blown out, full size humpbacks and gray whales, which live in the Bering Sea of Alaska all summer long, have been living in San Francisco Bay all summer, and Monterey Bay, and Diablo Canyon Bay. And packs of orcas, which the tropical pod and the Oregon pod there have moved out of their domain, hunting and stalking full. Oh, that's Channel 8 News in California. San Diego, I'm there. Isn't it wonderful? The orcas are swimming with the dolphins. The orcas are eating the dolphins. They're starving. They're eating anything and everything they can. Eating full, going out fucking whales, starving to death. They should never be there because they live in the plankton's gone. You know how close Fukushima, Japan is to the Bering Sea in Alaska? Do you realize how close it is? Fuck it. How about the peninsula, Kumcha Peninsula? Remember when everything washed up dead acutely? You know, there's a trench there. Where are these freaking cores? We're over 5,000, and they say they've got 0.7 grams they got out of Unit 2, which isn't even out of 880,000 tons. That isn't even the cores. They can't get near these cores. Bringing sharp up because they're that hot. How hot are these core meltdowns? Well, we don't know, but I estimate they're, similar to the fucking sun's temperature. Hundreds of millions of dollars. I got a great idea. Let's boil all the Earth's water to cool it down. And at the same time, we're perpetuating more nuclear, the propaganda pork is just flying. You Google and you'll think, fuck, what a renaissance. It's a pork renaissance. Nuclear reactors shutting down all of the fucking world. It's unfucking-believable. Fucking Obama. You cannot make this shit up. You cannot make it up. Marie Antoinette, let them eat yellow cake. And he's the narrator, the voice of oceans at Monterey Bay. I've done so much work on that peninsula, it's unfucking real. I remember Steve, the head of the Monterey Peninsula, who resigned and moved to South America. He told me one day, Kevin, I've talked to multiple people in there that's came to me. Kevin, we used to think you were crazy on your tide pool work. I owe you an apology. These tide pools are fucking wiped out, just like you said was going to happen in acute fashion. So all these biology scientists, they come to their conclusion, global warming. I says, global warming? Global warming's going like this. So you're telling me global warming just started in 2012 when all their data showing this collapse happened? Global warming went like this. That's unarguable. That's an outlier. You can plug in all your regression on the seals, the sea lions, the salmon, the trees, all this said data, all of it. Plug in your fucking regression models. It deviates from the mean amount. It's all going to point to the greatest outlier in human history. 2011. That's unarguable. So we know something radically, acutely fucking happened in the Pacific Ocean in 2011. We know that. That's arguable science. Gilded and Gold cast Kevin Blanch's hypothesis has been verified. So we have to start looking for the culprit. Did a meteor strike the Pacific Ocean? No. That would do it. Oh yeah, it could. Did we have another Krakatoa form and erupt underwater? That could do it. No. Did we have at least 3, most likely 4, maybe more, full core meltdowns for the first time in human history? Albert Einstein, hell of a way to boil water. Kevin Blanch, hell of a way to boil a planet. This is, again, Blake Barrett, this has never happened before. This is, as I hypothesized, and I named it Plutonium. This is new. For every action, there's a reaction. That's basic fundamental logic. That's basic fundamental philosophy. That's basic fundamental science. It's your pseudo de facto theology. No, it's not. It's your pseudo de facto theology. No, it's not. It's your pseudo de facto. It changed everything in the world, obviously. And I can't even talk where I think the demi came from. But Einstein says if this ever gets out, full-blown alcohol, this genie gets out, it's going to mutate and change every piece of biology on the planet. He was asked, will humans adapt? Yes, in 50 generations. COVID changed the world. Fukushima changed the world dramatically. Reed Hastings, that powder mountain, this is real, the 1970s. I used to love that place. It's ruined now. He's got it exclusive now. Like everything else in this country is a luxury good. very sad. So my work is Gilden and Gold, and Obama's the culprit. They backed out the ships. Obama, on advice from Holdren, on about inside the situation. Look up John Holdren. You know, that's all been out. He did the interview. Make it so. That's Cartwright, right? Cartwright. By the way, I see the international courts issued the warrants for the war criminals today. Of course, you know the U.S. is going to go like that. It's getting to the point that the whole world is going to start radically hating everybody from this country again. The whole world's going to start radically hating us. Look what we're doing to the planet. Fukushima ship. No, Yalta by the sea. We run that whole island, the 51st day. Obama, remember he's drinking his fake sushi and eating his fake sushi in Japan? These treaties were signed long before I was president. That's the only thing he ever said true. That guy's the biggest con man who ever walked. The ship, the USS Reagan, all dying like, you know, we won the case in California. We won it, wanted to go forward. The United States Court says no. Got to try it in Japan, which is horseshit. Yalta by the Sea in 1945. These are thousands of year old treaties, the San Francisco Accords. We run post be dropped. I mean, these genocidal fucking maniacs. This is so appalling. So now another fin has washed up once in a lifetime. That's the fourth one this year in Alaska. And it's up into the inlet. And they've used, scientists are mystified, they're baffled, they're stumped, they're curious, they're alarmed. That's all we've heard. Because it's new. Now this one's incredibly odd. That's their new line, incredibly odd. Oh, fuck. It's the greatest starvation event. You broke the chain. You promised you would never break the chain. You take the phytoplankton out, fuck the staff of life, big fish eat little fish, the chain reaction. Kevin Blanch's work is absolutely guilty. First hypothesis of knowledge. These are full-blown meltdowns. It's never happened before. This is it. They're going to circle the wagons and cover it. Then you do the field work. Wild full of cancer. Just the fact that I go into the bone marrow transplant, give it 2 months to live with AML leukemia on 11/11/11. Think about that. Then you defend your work. Against this tsunami of ignorance, I feel like the new Semmelweis. Remember germ theory? I mean, this was a scientist who proved it. Had his doctors washing his hands for fucking 10 years. Increased life by tenfold with his mothers. Savior of mothers. Wow. What a journey. They thought he was so crazy, they beat him to death and threw him in a rubber room. Boy, they threw him in a rubber room, beat him to death. It's appalling what's happened to this country. It's appalling. I mean, it's disturbing. I mean, I'm very heartbroken about all this, to be honest with you. Really heartbroken about it all. I can't believe it. This is the greatest event in human history. And it's unarguable. Gillen and Goldcastle, the greatest outlier in scientific history, at least since Krakatoa, and I think it's bigger now, is 2011. That's absolutely unarguable. Happened in the Pacific Ocean, started there and spread globally. That's unarguable. It's absolutely unarguable science. Kevin Blanch. If this had been 30, 40 years ago, I'd already have 3 or 4 Nobel Prizes. What did I get? I got slandered, attacked, fucking my life ruined. It really is similar to fucking the greatest scientist who ever walked. That's Semmelweis. He's the greatest in history. I mean, they have a little clinic in Vienna. People still don't talk about it. We can't even still talk to this day what caused Spanish flu. Oh, fuck. Didn't start in Spain. But Fukushima, bringing star power to Earth. Oh, mission accomplished. Pop, pop. Oh, Oppie dropped. Then there's a reason Germany shut down all their nuclear reactors, and Angela Merkel's a nuclear physicist. And you go ask them in Germany, why'd you shut them down? One word, Fukushima. Oppenheimer, 1938. When they're talking about we got to get this bomb. And by the way, Einstein never wrote that letter. Leo Lazar, who backed out of the Manhattan Project, wrote that letter. He coerced him into signing it. And Eisenhower, who the great anti-nuclear activist, the greatest anti-nuclear activist that ever lived, until Kevin Blanch came along. Oppenheimer, 1938. If the Germans want this thing, this bomb, splitting the atom, this exchange, they will have it first. I worked with the German nuclear physicists. They're the best on the planet. Baby never born, mother never pregnant. Communique behind enemy lines in 1943 in Germany. Germany never had it. They were never interested in it, never even really trying. Everybody backed out of the Manhunt, including Leo Lazar, including Peter Strauss. Peter Strauss holds, Robert Downey Jr. holds the Oscar for playing brilliantly Louis Strauss in the movie Oppenheimer. Louis Strauss hated Oppenheimer. So did Einstein, hated Oppenheimer. August 7, 1945. Never in the history of mankind has any people, as any military, as any war machine ever indiscretionally mass murdered women and children. Till now. It revolts my soul. Herbert Hoover. August 7th, 1945. Pop, pop, be drop. To the second, he holds the Oscar to the greatest event in human history. 13 years at Laurel Canyon. Two cats in the yard. Now life is so hard. Everything is uneasy because of you. This is the greatest event in human history. And Obama's going to narrate the documentary by Greed Hastings. Oh, fuck what he's done to Basin. This is an imperialist class they've evolved here. I mean, arranged marriages, Lord Bezos, Lord Musk, Lord Gates, you know, it's imperialism and their greatest fucking tool, nuclearism. And we get a bill through Congress to perpetuate more and more. Price Anderson gets up for another 20 years. Kevin Blanch, the world's greatest marine biologist. Did Doc Ricketts have a marine biology degree? Fuck no. Doc Ricketts barely even went to college at all. Why is the Great Tide Pool named after him there? My work is so historic, you wouldn't even know. Unarguable. It's disgusting. I'm really appalled. The Great Pacific Genocide, the greatest PhD in human history. Plutonium fires, a country of liars. Plutonium skies, a country that denies. You can't deny my work anymore. It's unarguable evidence. That's why we use regressionary models. The greatest outlier in human history happened in 2011. These are full-blown meltdowns pushing the Pacific Ocean. You know, I got a great idea. Let's boil all the Earth's water to cool down the Earth. Up is down. Remember Claire Patterson and leaded gasoline? Yeah, remember that? Trust their scientists. Okay, remember Kevin Blanch standing right. I stood right here, March 12th, 13th, 14th, somewhere right there. It says, you just look back. Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. Third greatest line. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. George Bush won Florida in 2000. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Just remember, Pat Tillman fight off 9 million. Okay. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. His own man. All these lies. Remember, Obama. Scientists told us safe. The plume is coming over the greatest lie in human history, nuclear energy. You don't think the German nuclear physicists know? You don't think they know? Just remember this lie. You look back 10, 12, 13 years from now, see if Kevin Blanch's work is all right. I stood right here and said that. Sadly, I was right. First, you hypothesize the knowledge. These are full-blown out nuclear meltdowns. It's going to push this energy, bring starlight. It's going to boil the fucking Pacific Ocean. It's going to tire a vapor, a gas, a plasma. It's going to push in. It's going to fucking break the chain. You're going to see a chain reaction, ecological collapse. It's going to cause a heat dome over the western United States. It's going to cause, look up the heat fucking dome, the greatest one. Started in, what, 2011, 2012. All this data points right to 2011, 2012. You're telling me there's no byproduct from full-blown out nuclear meltdowns? None. Okay. For every action, there's a reaction. The Fukushima denial and the scientist criminality is the greatest crime in human history. It's second to Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Fuck. Tell me lies. Tell me sweet little nuclear lies. Barack Obama narrating the Netflix documentary, The Ocean. He's at Monterey Bay with the Girl Scouts. That's the greatest fraud who ever lived. The greatest crime he perpetuated. The buck stops where? Fucking sad. Stay in tuned.